Hello everyone, this is Marvel Snap Zone Premium Coaching number. I stopped counting. If anyone knows which number we're at, let me know. And today we are going to discuss what happened with the OTA and everything that has been changing in the metagame, and also everything that has not been changing. So the first part is going to be me talking through the ladder tier list. I'll try to make it relatively quick. Feel free to stop me if you have any questions. Let's get started. So, there are three things that we need to note, which is it was a big OTA, so we have a lot of decks, and usually that's seen in the fact that we have a lot of silent performers, because there are a lot of decks that are not meeting the requirements in terms of popularity, which means there are a lot of silent performers. For the record, like silent performers mean decks which do not have 1% popularity in the metagame. We have a couple of new decks, which is Dorkhawk, which is actually the best deck in the game. Pretty interesting, as the Dorkhawk build here and the good card stature are very, very similar. Just one has a disruptive package to it, and the other one has a proactive package to it. We'll go through it later. This card has progressed a lot. Like, this card Dracula has been putting up pretty good results. Most likely because a lot of decks lost a lot of power, and this card basically only competes on points with everyone else. And the last thing that we need to go over is all the decks that were using Elsa Bloodstone actually didn't lose that much, because Move is still there, Thanos Control still uses Elsa, Loki still uses Elsa, and Sarah Control still uses Elsa. So these are the three things that I want to go over, and then I'll explain how the metagame functions with our little maps that we're doing every time. So part 1 is the Darkhawk decks. So the most popular one would be this one. So it's not necessarily these
Hey,
precise
Dan.
12s.
I don't think you're sharing screen.
I forgot.
Yeah.
We're not seeing your screen.
Oh, apologies.
Thank you for helping me. So, this is the most, like, let's say, performant deck in the meta at this point. So it's not necessarily these 12. The card that changes the most is Azmat. It's sometimes Mobius. It's sometimes Jeff. It's sometimes Shang-Chi. But depending on what you're trying to target, the card will change. I think Azmat kind of makes sense if you're trying to abuse the current metagame, because Thanos is, I think, the most popular deck, although it's regressing a little bit. And the stones are really, really good because it gives Azmat a literal ton of targets to afflict. The other card that could also be changed is Black Widow, because although the card helps, it's very, very low power, but Black Widow and Azmat really work well together, because one pushes the opponent to play a card and the other one negates the power. But yeah, the flexibility would mostly be in those cards, and that flexibility we're gonna see right here, as this is basically the more proactive take on the deck. So we can still find the Darkhawk synergy, we can still find Shadow King to interact with the opponent, except this time, instead of having the Afflict package, we have Stature, Black Bolt, the Shang-Chi Enchantress. So it's much more reliant on pulling off his synergies. And the main thing I would say that could be a problem is if the opponent drops Mobius on turn 2. In this one, if the opponent drops Mobius on turn 2, we can always rogue it on turn 3. While here, because he would disable our Zabu, we have to wait 2 turns for Enchantress. So apart if we have Rock Slide, Mobius can be more of a problem for this one, which is normal because the deck is more proactive. So it's normal that it's going to react a little worse to disruption. I wanted to start with this deck because a lot of decks right now are gonna react this way. Like, we have a core, which are usually gonna be 7 to 9, 10 cards. And then we're gonna see the same decks actually have different ways. Like, we could see the same thing with like Thanos Control and Thanos Zoo. One is the kind of disruptive, try to block the opponent from playing on lanes, be a little surprising, while the other one is just, I'm gonna play ongoing cards and develop points. I think we can also see it move, which we can go to right now. So it's kind of the same, like we have the move core and then we have wave and Doctor Doom, which are included, but it could be like it could be Alioth and just Polaris. It could be Jean Grey and another card. It's a lot of archetypes are gonna follow that logic. And so the question that we need to answer today, and that's kind of the most important one, is how to build our deck and why to build it a certain way. So why would we build it disruptively, or why would we build it reactively? That's the big question that we want to answer today. So before we start answering this question, we're just gonna go through the decks that progressed pretty well, because it's a nice mix of different, like, proactive and reactive decks. This one is... So in the proactive decks, so the one that has hopped this game the most would be Discord Dracula. And considering I think the deck has been around since Marvel Snap was invented, I don't think I need to present it too much. So here we really have, well, apart from Silver Samurai, but the card isn't necessarily core to the deck. This is really the epitome of, well, a lot of decks have lost power, so let me try that deck that just puts a lot of power on the table, because maybe it just beats everybody now. It doesn't exactly beat everybody, but the feeling is much closer than before, as now when you have Mobius and Dracula and you're snapping someone, you're actually gonna scare them much more than you would in the past. Still have to be a little careful, because as we saw with like the Darkhawk deck, and we'll see in other decks, Rogue is pretty popular because of Mobius, and that can be a terrible news for Morbius. I'm going to get Morbius and Mobius wrong a lot. I'm sorry about it already. Second in the proactive category, we have Iron Patriot. Already we can note that a lot of the proactive decks are ongoing based, which explains why we'll see also a lot of rogues and a lot of enchantress. Same idea here. This was a deck that was extremely good over the summer, got nerfed, so his points potential got lower, like got under, let's say, the requirements, and you would lose a lot to the Elsa decks that got popular in September and October. Well, the Loki decks in September and then the Elsa decks in October. But now that all these decks got nerfed, Patriot is coming back because his ceiling is actually good enough to other decks which got their ceiling lowered. And because we have proactive decks coming, we naturally have disruptive decks. So the big disruptive one is Thanos, and there are two important cards to look at it. This one, which is from Mobius, which I think you'll note will be in almost every deck that can afford to run it, because cheating energy remains amongst the best things to do. I think in old card games, every card games I've played in my life, cheating energy was the best thing to do. And the second card that is really important to Thanos is Professor X, because proactive decks, look at them, are much more synergetic compared to what it was before. Like, if I take synergistic decks from before, let's say it was something like Loki Collector, this is not really telling me where they are playing. Like, apart from Elsa, which wants me to fill a lane, like the Collector could be played as a single target, as a single threat. Jeff would mean that we could impact the Professor X lane afterwards. There were a lot of cheap cards, which means we could fill a lane pretty quickly if we want. So in the previous metagame, Professor X actually was a risk. Now fast forward to the proactive decks that we saw. If we look at them, we have this card, which has more of an on-curve strategy. Like, it's going to play one card on turn 2, going to play one card on turn 3, play one card on turn 4. Unless I saw them discard Swarm, I'm not really afraid of them being able to fill a lane surprisingly. Makes my Professor X much more reliable. Same thing for Iron Patriot. Apart from Forge into Brood into Absorbing Man, but then it's kind of easy to figure out where they're going to play Absorbing Man after they play Brood, because they almost always play it on the empty lane so they can keep a space. It's not that hard to read where to Professor X. And then same thing for Good Scar Stature. I mean, even with Zabu, this deck is going to play one card a turn, and Stature, being the explosive part of the deck, is too slow to come in on turn 4 or 5 most of the time. So Professor X just got much better because the points decks are much easier to figure out compared to the very flexible decks from before. So that's one of the disruptive cards that gained a lot of potential. The second card, we already talked about it, is Mobius. And then the third one could be Shang-Chi. Because, while, once again, if I go back to the Elsa deck, before, almost all the cards were providing power, because Elsa was really good at spreading the power around, and he was on Kitty, and he was on like 1 cost, 2 cost cards, so there were a lot of like 5 to 7, 8 kind of range, and decks could produce 4, 5 of those cards during the game. Right now, once again, if I look at this card, I know where the points are going to be. It's going to be a big Morbius. Well, it's going to be a big Dracula. I can't Shang-Chi this, but I know I have a target here. I know exactly if I'm going to be able to Shang-Chi Daken or not, because it's going to be 8 or 16, and I just have to count how many blades they generated. Same for Iron Patriot. I know they don't really have a target for Shang-Chi apart from America Chavez. Stature, I know it's Darkhawk that I could Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi is much easier to anticipate. Like, as soon as I know what my opponent plays, I know which cards are potentially a target for Shang-Chi, and so I know if it's going to be useful or not. In the past, when I was playing against Loki, or I was playing against any Elsa deck, basically, considering they could create Shang-Chi targets apart from Angela, but then they could just put an armor or a Cosmo on the Angela lane, it was much harder to figure out whether Shang-Chi was gonna land or not, and which card would actually be a target for Shang-Chi, and which turn would they become a target for Shang-Chi. Well, if I take a Dracula, I know if I put Shang-Chi on turn 6 on the Mobius lane, is usually going to be a target. And if I don't have a priority, I can probably even try it on turn 5, because this is where they play MODOK, and this is where Morbius power explodes. So, overall, the first thing is the metagame is much easier to figure out in terms of how do deck functions. And because they're easier to figure out, disruptive decks have also progressed. So once again, we can see like decks like Series 3, but I will also the other one that is based solely on disruption. Get to it afterwards. So once again, we can see Shadow King, because Elsa is still in the metagame. Killmonger, because there's quite a few 1 costs. They're not that many, but if you can find use for Killmonger, or if just you have no valuable turn 1s in your deck, you can always like annoy a deck or two, and your Killmonger on average is going to be like a 3-5 to a 3-7, which is decent enough. But the fact that this deck, which got 2 of his main cards nerfed, still exists, and I think it put up like about 0.3 cube average, shows that disruption is still very, very strong. Because most of the time when Serra controlling is in the metagame, it means disruption is pretty. But for a deck to be nerfed, and it was one of the biggest nerfs like that the deck could have suffered, as 2 cards got nerfed inside that deck, and the deck to still be popular and still put up numbers, it means that its core strategy has to be something good. So that should be proof that disruption is still important in the metagame. Alright, that was the explanation through decks. I don't know if that was very clear. We will do the one that should be much clearer, but I just needed an excuse to show decks. So, here is what happened in the metagame quickly after the OTA. So, everyone played Thanos Control because, well, every time there are changes, people try Thanos because Thanos is extremely flexible, so you can build the deck any way you want. And the deck was already pretty good before the OTA, and it wasn't relying on Elsa too much. So, Thanos being popular brought Darkhawk to be extremely popular, because naturally, Darkhawk gets much bigger against the Thanos deck because they have more cards in their deck. So instead of a Darkhawk that should be a 6, because naturally we end the game with 3 cards, we usually have a Darkhawk that's like a 10 or a 12 against Thanos. So naturally, Darkhawk is pretty good against Thanos. Darkhawk coming back meant we also had Zabu in there. So because we had Zabu, we went for Mobius. And because we went for Mobius, we went for Rogue. And the good thing is Rogue is actually good against Mobius, but it's also good against Darkhawk, and it's also good against Thanos, because there are a lot of ongoings in the Thanos deck. So this is how we got to Disruption, basically. There was a deck which saw its counter. Oh, can I do it? Yes. That's not. Well, it's on the same level. I hope people can understand. Maybe it's easier like this. Probably gonna be. Oh, it's here. Okay, and that's how we got to a disruptive metagame, basically. Now, the question is, where do we go from here? So, there is one first explanation, which is this one, which is we play decks that don't really care about ongoing hate cards. There's Morbius, but that's about the only card. We could also imagine this one, which has no problem with ongoing cards being really strong. We could imagine this one, which has no ongoing card. It's actually playing Rogue, but it also doesn't suffer from it. So this is the point. And for now, we don't necessarily know what the next step is going to be. But the interesting things here is how fast things moved, because we went from the usual steps of a metagame. Basically, we went from there's a deck that we know is good into there's a deck that we know is good against the deck that everyone expects, to, well, there's a card that just annoys the new Rising deck and that's extremely easy to play in every deck, to, alright, let's disrupt the strategies. Usually, these kind of steps take a little longer, but, and that's the most interesting part in all of this, why? The reason why it happened so fast is because we knew all of this already. Because if we actually look at what happened before Loki got out, or if we look at what happened when Mobius got out, this is about exactly the same pattern. is when we finally got an answer to Loki, it was like this. It was Loki. Loki got met with Mobius. Mobius started playing Rogue in the Loki deck. And then the solution to this was Elsa is released, basically. So the last pattern that got us to the OTA was this. We had a really strong card. We had the counter card. We started playing the counter to the counter card. And then something stronger came around. Question now is, here, Elsa basically was this. So what I want us to work on today is figuring what this is. Like, what is the next thing that is strong enough to be played in this context and actually doesn't lose to any of these things? So if we take a look at the tier list, we have a few ideas. There's Dracula, there's Move, there are some of the Rising decks in Guardians Lockdown, maybe? I don't think they have many ongoings. Well, they have Claw, but we just... maybe Claw might be a problem, but that's about it. But yeah, that's basically where we're at. And that's what I wanted to work on today. And as usual, I spoke a lot for about 25 minutes. If anyone has questions on the whole theory, let me know. This is your time now.
I have a question, or maybe a statement. So, before playing Marvel Snap, I came from Hearthstone, and it didn't seem like I don't know if it's just the way the pattern of they release cards. It didn't seem like the meta kind of ran this predictable. Is this something special to Snap? The way that these patterns are going to start to run, that unless we get a major disruption with a card or with a major nerf or buff, we're going to start to see this kind of like just happen every cycle.
Well, that would be predicting the future, but I will say that because decks in Marvel Snap only have 12 cards, disruptive cards are much more powerful because you draw them much more often. Like, if my opponent plays Mobius on turn 2, which if they have it and they know it's good against my deck, they usually will, I have a 50% chance of having Rogue on turn 3 in my hand because I draw 3 cards in the opening hand, and then I have 3 turns, so I've drawn 6 out of 12. So when my disruptive card on turn 3, I already have 50% chance to have it in my hand. It is immensely more likely compared to a game like Hearthstone, which with 30 cards, you sometimes do not even have 50% chance to draw your disruptive card all game long. Like, there is a case where at some point, like in the past, what would happen would be something like this. Like, player 1, Taboo. Player 2, Mobius. Player 2, Snaps. That would be pretty logic, wouldn't it? Remove everything? Yes. Like, my opponent plays Zabu. It's obviously a core card of the strategy. I play the counter to Zabu, and I snap. Well, the problem now is we can't snap anymore because otherwise this can happen. But then you would say, okay, so that's good for player 1. No, because then this disappears. Because player 2 stops snapping since he knows a lot of people are playing Rogue. So now player 1 Rogue. And then you go, player 1 snaps. But then you're like, wait, but why wouldn't player 2 also play Rogue? Because Mobius is in literally every deck, and we already established that there's a lot of ongoing going in the meta. Now, I can do this, player 2 rogue. So actually player 1 is like, oh shit, I shouldn't snap, I should wait one more turn. And now we're back to this. Not rogue, it's snap. And the problem with this is because it's so likely that people have the card that they need, because the decks are small, that it kind of creates some kind of paralysis. And then you have like two schools of thoughts, which is, I'm going to be aggressive and I'm going to snap, because I have at least 50% to be rewarded, so I'll take the 50-50s. And you have players which are like, I'm going to wait for all the information. But the thing is, if you wait for all the information, then your opponent has no chance of staying in. They either stay in and punish you, or they don't stay in and you just get one cube. But then you just create a lose-lose scenario where you either snap without full information and you just hope that it goes your way, or you snap too late and you can't leverage it. And that's what we're trying to break today, is how do we create a situation where we can snap with information and it's not just a gamble. This is what we're trying to find. Which decks actually can control information in a way that they can snap and their opponent can't snap them.
Seems like one possible way would be to be playing cards that are going to punish the expected rogue play, like drop a Cosmo, or maybe even drop an Electro so they accidentally steal that ongoing. So break the expected symmetry of information.
Exactly. And this is why, for example, here, could answer this with ramp, maybe. This is exactly what we're looking for today. What do we put in that last square, like the one that we're trying to solve? I make it big. I can only make it large, so it'll be extremely large, but I can't make it big. Sorry.
We're back to Invisible Woman again, hiding everything behind.
No, because we don't want to hide Mobius, because if you hide Mobius, it doesn't work. These are ongoing effects that we need to actually see because we need them in play.
So Echo then is a better choice.
No, because if you play Echo, Rogue still works because Rogue is an unreveal.
No. It actually, I had this happen in game. The Rogue steals and then the Rogue dies.
Yes, but their goal is not to steal Mobius, to cancel Mobius. So as long as it removes it, they're happy. Stealing it makes it better, but as long as Mobius is no longer in play, at least their Zabu is working and they're happy.
Well, then Cosmo.
Yeah, but then you're making decks where... No, it's not here. Like, so we go. So we went. Player 1 goes Zabu. Player 2 goes Mobius. Player 1 replaces, goes here. Player 2 goes Cosmo. And then we're basically in the exact same scenario, where we're like, oh, I play my Zabu. Damn, he played his Mobius. But then the only time that player 2 can snap is when he goes Mobius into Cosmo. Except there is one little problem. And it's this. You played Cosmo, you gave them a perfect location to play Darkhawk, because now they don't have to fear your rogue. Like, that's the thing when the meta is based around ongoing cards. There are ongoing cards that you want to cancel, and there are ongoing cards that you want to steal. And when you're trying to steal, you can't play Cosmo because you cancel your ability to steal. But if you Cosmo, that means you give them the opportunity as well. Like, it goes both ways. It's not like Cosmo doesn't work like Echo, where it says your opponent on reveals don't work anymore. So you change the pattern, but there's still a pattern. And it's actually even a better one for them, because they got to play a turn 2, they got to play a turn 3, and they got to play a turn 4. While what you did is you played a turn 2, you played a turn 3, and here, if you don't have a strong play, they have Dorkock, and so they're ahead points-wise. So yeah, we could play that game. Like, we could play that game of back and forth, and that's what a lot of people are doing right now. And that usually results in 50% win rate, and people who get the right snaps are going to climb, and people that get the wrong snaps are going to think Marvel Snap is a terrible game and is extremely frustrating. Or we can try to break the pattern and figure out what are we putting here. So we already...
this is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say,
thinking...
we already know discard might work. We discussed about ramp.
Oh, yeah, I was
like
just... Yeah, go ahead, please.
Move. Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Go.
No, please, you.
I mean, I know we discussed move. It doesn't have historically the best Loki matchup, but it's... I mean, why it was popular before is because it had more points than Darkhawk, but everything was 8 power, so it couldn't be shanked, and it doesn't run any ongoings.
Yes.
So just
move
over
works.
the top.
Move put up a really good performance. One problem for Move is Shadow King. Shadow King bullies Kraven. But to be honest, I don't really like this list. Like, it's really far from the way I would play Move, but yeah, maybe we could go for Move. What else? This is the point where we just throw ideas. Let's try to break the pattern.
All right, well, a couple. So if we're not doing the Cosmo play, we could drop a, I don't know, Stegron to try to kick their turn 4 card into a lane that we can then rogue it or something.
Wait.
Or, I don't know, we could... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So I don't understand why you want to kick it.
Well, so if we're trying to anticipate a world where, they have something prepared to cancel our rogue, we could just change the lane where it's happening.
You can't kick your... Oh, you mean... Okay. But Stegron kicks visible cards. So do you want to play Juggernaut in that case?
I see. Yeah.
And then there's also another problem, which is priority. How do you guarantee you have priority at this point? Because you've been playing Rogue and that kind of low power cards.
I see. Okay. So then we could also play around with changing the expected location of our cards. We could try to, I don't know, Iron Fist our Darkhawk or something so he doesn't appear on the lane people think he's going to. Maybe even ramp into a Heimdall on 5 and shift where Cosmo was and then expose their Darkhawk. I mean, it seems like if we're piling up in expected lanes, changing in surprising ways where the lane is could be helpful.
Feels awfully complicated compared to let's just play another deck that doesn't care about that pattern. Because right now, what would you play those cards? Like, so you would play Heimdall in like a Darkhawk deck?
I mean, so I haven't thought about the shell. I'm just thinking about what can we accomplish with 1 or 2 cards that can lure somebody into thinking that we're playing an expected deck, but we have a surprising counter to the expected matchup they weren't anticipating. And so I often think... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, it does feel easier to just play a deck that doesn't care about Mobius, so we don't have to enter that dance.
That seems right, yeah.
Surfer we did really well. I mean, Surfer when Darkhawk was powerful, Surfer was really powerful.
Yeah, but isn't Surfer a Sarah deck? I mean, what would be the pattern then? So you play your turn 1, turn 2 you play Goose or something like that, but that doesn't block much. Then, I mean, you would still play Rogue. You can play Cosmo. You can play all the 3 costs that are among that pattern. But then, what I'm missing is, okay, you're like, the point might be good. It's just I don't understand how it's outside what everyone else is doing. Because like we need to find a deck that doesn't care about this dance, so we don't have to worry about it. And at the same time, we need something that puts up enough points.
I was just scrolling through. Oh, go ahead, Bishop.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, you know, you look at like the Hella deck or the Tribune or the Tribunal deck, right? That just doesn't care what the other side is pretty much doing.
The Hella deck is terrible against Rogue and Enchantress.
Against Rogue, yeah.
That's the thing, is like for now at least, the best decks points wise are the ongoing synergy, which is why we started with this whole everyone's gonna start playing Rogue and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like Thanos control is really good, but it struggles against Darkhawk and the ongoing synergy in general. Like I could have added Ella Tribunal because same, it can impact the Professor X lane. This is where like this sport is tricky. It's because you need to answer all of these. Like you're not just trying to find a deck that doesn't die to Rogue. You also need to find a deck that doesn't care about Mobius unless you're playing Rogue yourself. And you need to find a deck that can consistently win against at least these two, because you're going to see a lot of them.
So maybe balance? Doesn't care, I mean, obviously, if you start playing Wave, then yeah, it cares about Mobius, but it stays small anyways. It puts a lot of points on the board and doesn't play anything that Rogue. It also gives you that ability to move things around if you don't like the play line. You can usually play into Cosmo pretty well, except for on the end.
Yeah, but doesn't Bounce get bullied by Professor X? Like, if I look at the two most popular decks, I see Professor X, really annoying for Bounce. I see Mobius, which shuts down Beast. And here, I see Man-Thing, which works literally on every single card in my deck, and Azmat. Which is why it's not so easy to find, actually. Like, you might need to invent something. Où le chat? Moi j'avais l'impression que c'était
Okay, so maybe it helps just to figure out our conditions. So we want something that's good against that can survive a lockdown on 5 or 4. We want something that can rival the points of an ongoing synergy right now, and something that either is rogue proof or doesn't care about rogue.
Or doesn't care about Mobius.
Or doesn't care about Mobius. Okay.
Well, there's Shuri as well. Which...
Yeah, it doesn't.
Maybe like Deadpool kind of destroy. I think one of its main things is actually Lady Deathstrike, because I'm just looking at the cards in these Darkhawk lists, and a lot of the important stuff is 3 or less power.
That works. The problem with Destroy is more that there's armor and everything, but we could try Destroy. We just have to dodge armor, and we have to dodge Rogue stealing.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of
sorry, no, the problem with Destroy, my bad, is Shadow King. Get your Deadpool Shadow King.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen a lot of armor lately, but Shadow King is more of a thing.
But yeah, it could be amongst the decks that right, but the fact that it's already in the tier list and it's actually rather low tells me that there's probably something.
I mean, the Shuri deck. I mean, that especially if you're playing negative cards, the ongoings there, I could see if Rogue takes them there. Yes, please take them. And it also seems to do its own thing.
Yeah, the Shuri deck is, but maybe Taunt is.
Yeah, I mean your point. I took your point. Yeah.
So, okay, sorry, go ahead.
No.
Mhm.
Cosmo.
Well, yeah,
I mean, not Cosmo. Excuse me. Uh, I can't. Oh my gosh, the dog. Oh
Cosmo? Lockjaw?
no, teleporting dog. Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
Why
Yeah.
not? Just play Lockjaw and be like, oh, you like points? Shang-Chi might be a problem, but Lockjaw is good against Thanos. We just have to be careful about Professor X, but that's it.
You have you have maybe Thor for that. You can play Jeff for that. So
Jeff usually isn't good enough to challenge Professor X on his own. That's not a bad idea. All right. Well, we have ideas. Let's see if more come to mind as we. But let's build the decks. So who is interested in what? Well, the candidates for now are Ramp, Discard, Move, Fury, and Lockjaw.
I'm happy to do Move or Lockjaw.
Okay.
I can do discard or ramp.
Okay.
I am not picky at all, but I can try Shuri or Move.
All right. So, be honest, if we can leave Shuri out of this, I'd be very happy because I can't stand the deck and it's in every single metagame. So,
Sounds great.
so not for long
Yep.
we'll get Move. Bishop, you said Move or
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
Okay.
And Silvermint, you said Discard or Ramp. So nobody else wanted either, so you can pick. Or have both if we have.
Okay. Well, I feel like Loki could be fun. I feel like discard. We've got a good idea of how it could work right now. So
right. Let's go
it's fine
ramp
to
then.
play. Yeah, let's try ramp.
Okay, so let's build those decks. Who wants to go first?
I can go. It's fine.
All right, so we're building Lockjaw. So let me guess. I'm gonna put Lockjaw in that deck.
That was a good idea.
Okay, you mentioned Tor, so I'm guessing we're going for the Lockjaw Tor deck.
Good.
Gonna take a wild guess and add Jane Foster and Wasp already.
Probably a good idea.
They just be bold and add Jubilee as well.
Yeah, sure.
All right, what else do we want in this?
So
what kind of Lockjaw are we building? Are we building Ella Lockjaw? Are we building basic Lockjaw? Are we building high Evo Lockjaw?
I've never. I would be like. I was gonna go basic, but maybe
Go
high
basic.
evil is not a bad.
No, let's go basic. If you want to go basic, let's go basic. You mentioned Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff or Nightcrawler? Like.
I like Jeff. I like Jeff over Nightcrawler.
Okay. Do we put Vision as well?
You can try that. And
I don't know. It's usually good with Lockjaw that you can move it out. It's a really it's a very decent 5.
It always starts in my hand. I don't think I've ever pulled Vision out of the my hand is Lockjaw has always been like 4 5 5 5 6 or something like that. But
unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we want Chavez in there. Are we trying to get as many points as possible, or are we trying to spread points? Because there are two ways to build Lockjaw. We can go for the big guys, which is like Infinite, Giganto, Magneto, and I don't know, Dracula maybe. or we can go for the more flexible deck, which might be better against Professor X, which is more of the Doctor Doom Odin kind of build. What's our goal here? Are we trying to go taller than everyone else, or are we trying to be more flexible?
I think maybe I would maybe taller.
You want to go taller?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna win 2 lanes, right? And
Well, that's the thing. If we're trying to dodge Professor X, it's, I mean, well, you could tell them like just Professor X whatever you want. I'm gonna win the other 2. That works as well.
kind of a straight up approach.
So if we go tall, okay, what this guy. Usually there's Magneto, pretty sure in there.
Yeah, I like Magneto.
What's the last card? Do you like Dracula? Do you like?
Yeah, we can do Dracula. That's a nice. I think that's a good fear factor. Or do we have enough big things for Dracula? Do we have like we're not running Hulk or Infinite?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
you got
have
Giganto in
Infinite,
there.
Magneto, Giganto.
Giganto, yeah. So I didn't see you grab those. Yeah.
That would be our first test.
Yeah, we can. That sounds good.
You're gonna play it, so you tell me. My goal is just that you give me a good reasoning behind it.
I think those are some pretty safe cards. Like, I mean, I used to go back to Thor anytime I wasn't sure what to play, just because that usually does pretty well. I don't know if we need to. Yeah, I think it's fair. I mean, we might have to tech in and out for that, but I think it's a fair place to start.
All right. Do you need me to put it in chat or anything, or you just copy it?
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, I'll hold on for a second. I pretty much remember it, but yeah, I'll be okay. I'll grab it from the.
Okay, who's going second? Which deck are we making now?
I'll volunteer. Sure.
All right.
That's fine.
So we said move, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is what it looks like in the tier list, but I'll be honest, I have no idea how Wave is the best performing card in move when Mobius is in every single deck.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really care for this list at all.
So,
my first idea is the thing you mentioned before is Shadow King being everywhere. I'm interested in running a deck list that can run Luke Cage.
ooh. Okay, so we would do what? I'll just put the staples. This Spider-Man. Am I missing it?
See, probably Elsa.
Yeah, Elsa. That's about it. At least for the staples.
Yeah.
That's the staples. So.
Yep.
So if we want Luke Cage, do we just throw Luke Cage in there for the sake of playing Luke Cage, or do we actually want to build around it? Like, I don't know, do we want to play Shadow King ourselves? Do we want, I don't know, what does Shadow King protects us from? Do we want Azmat? Do we want anything else with Shadow King? There's Men Thing, but that seems a little expensive.
Yeah, I mean, we can try Shadow King. I was thinking because of Rogue and Luke Cage, I would want to go lower and not play Doom because I don't want my Luke Cage being rogued.
Okay, so your goal is
to
is to craft an explosive 6.
Yeah. With kind of the move tempo of being able to build up some extra points.
I'm gonna offer a wild guess, and you tell me what you think about it. What if we just mix Sarah and the move synergy? So we just play move for 4 turns, drop Sarah on 5, and play disruptive on 6.
Okay. I mean, the list probably has to run rogue, though.
Yeah, well, we can. I don't know if that's good. It's just from what you told me that just gave me the idea. Otherwise,
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the cards that would be good in this, and this also looks like a kitty deck. I just we don't have 13 slots. I do like the idea of a lot of these cards.
Question. With all the move, is there value in adding Storm? Since you can lock them before they can play, like since it does, I mean, you can lock them out somewhere.
we could try Storm. Storm currently is annoyed by Darkhawk because you play Storm on 3 and they just Darkhawk, and usually their Darkhawk is big enough to challenge on his own. But that's another thing we can try.
The more I'm looking at the list, my one concern is all the move stuff is never going to have us behind on priority.
Well, you just play all the move on the same lane, so you're behind, and then you can just move them to wherever you want.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely interesting. Let's give it a shot.
I don't know if it's good, to be honest. It's just you said you wanted to play a move deck and then be reactive on 6, and that's what came to mind. But because otherwise,
it's worth a try.
Because otherwise, we would be what? We would be there.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like a Legion Kitty Chavez in those last 3 slots. Could also be the other option.
Legion is good. Do we actually, if we have Legion, do we actually go back to the Storm idea?
And then add Quake too, because you need Quake and Storm and Legion together. They just go so well together.
Yeah, but
and you
then
get around to what I was
you don't really need Quake because you actually move. No?
Yeah, I mean, what besides? I'm just trying to think what decks are playing things that can actually get into a Storm lane. Because Shuri can with Legion, Thanos can, not Legion, sorry.
If we go like this, so
Vision.
Darkhawk can just drop Darkhawk on curve. Move can move there. Thanos control is flexible enough that he can just drop all these stones, or like have Jeff go there later on, have Blue Marvel buff it. Stuff like
Dino
that.
can even go in off of Psylocke or Time Stone.
Yes, Dracula is just gonna drop Dracula.
Yeah.
Loki has Jeff, but it's kind of the same as Thanos. It's a lot of small stuff, so maybe they can just fill the lane.
Sarah it has all your move stuff too.
And it fits Loki, actually picks up your stuff. Sarah is annoyed. Destroy might be annoyed at it. Shuri is definitely annoyed by it, although they can make a big vision. Ella Tribunal doesn't really care as long as the combo goes off. And High Evo is just gonna drop a Cyclops or stuff like that. So actually, Storm doesn't annoy that many people from looking at it.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like a worthwhile slot.
We
could Angela Kitty. That's that.
Is Angela still good? I have not played Angela post OTA. Is it making the points?
I don't think it's really good anymore, but if we add Kitty, we'll literally have every single card in the game that Angela wants to see. Like, you have move cards that you can play behind and move. You have Kitty and you have Elsa.
Okay, yeah.
It's just, I mean, if Angela doesn't fit here, I really don't see where it fits anymore.
I think I'm more on the train of I don't see where it fits anymore. the +1 does not look good. Personally, I think I'd rather Chavez to draw Elsa or Craven before I'd ever want to draw.
Okay, but then my question is, when do you grow Kitty Pryde? Because like we don't have Angela, so actually Kitty Pryde now is only good with Elsa. Like if you don't have Elsa, this is 1 energy for 1 power, which is a terrible deal. So,
okay, that's fair. Yeah, so it's either Kitty or Angela. Cutting Kitty or like, adding Angela.
The question is, to me, was both or none. Like either we test if they're still strong enough, or we just go like, we don't think it's strong enough, let's find something else.
What about if you're gonna drop Kitty Pryde, either something that increases move, like you could think of Iron Fist, or Ghost Spider, or you could think about Nico, because she has some synergies that are really good for move.
What's the synergies that are really good for move?
Well, so you can move a card, so you could bump something into Craven that wasn't going to go there, and then move it later, right? So you could double that. You can add 2 points to, you can of course add 2 points to any of your move cards, and Silk stays at 7, Jeff stays at 5, which are both nice numbers, or Spider-Man gets a nice number. And then I think the other thing that's beneficial is you can get rid of a bad location. Which I think is still.
We have Legion, and I think move is literally the king of play around locations, isn't it?
I think it doesn't.
I'm not saying Nico is bad. I'm just saying. Do we want?
It just gives you that little flexibility.
Is Nebula good right now? If we go on the idea that Kitty isn't really good anymore, and Kitty was shutting down Nebula, is Nebula good now?
Nebula sounds definitely better because Darkhawk's playing 1 card a turn, except the last turn where they might play 2.
I mean, we could
stops.
We could just play Mobius ourselves as well.
If we're, I guess we could, because we don't really care if they rogue Mobius. I mean, it's gonna happen.
Or Mobius is a plus or a tie. Like we play it and it's a plus, we're happy. They cancel it or steal it and it's a tie and cool. Like it's a 2-3. Otherwise, what else can we play? We could play Armor because we don't care about it because we operate with Shadow King. And
what about Stegron?
What about what?
Like Stegron?
It's a move card.
Go more move synergy.
Do we need more move synergy? Because I feel like with Elsa in the deck, a lot of the time turn 4 is going to be double to trigger Elsa. Like I feel like a lot of the time our turn 4 is going to be Elsa plus Jeff, or if Elsa is already in play, something plus Jeff, buff Jeff.
So then does Ghost Spider help us out too? Because then you can play something more static into Elsa and then take it out of there.
Yeah, but the only 2 static things are these ones. They're already too expensive. I think we just want a cheap, strong card that doesn't really care and is just like, oh, slam it. And Nebula was good as a slam card. Mobius is good as a slam card. Maybe Armor is good as a Medusa is good, but it's not flexible.
What about Doom?
I mean, Doom is good as a slam card, but it goes against the point of playing Shadow King on 6.
Well, was that the overall goal to take out Elsa? Okay.
No, the overall goal isn't to take out Elsa. It's to synergize around Luke Cage, which Not For Long thinks is really good because it protects Craven.
So what about Shang-Chi then? If you're going to play Shadow King on 6, Shang-Chi plays on 6 as well, rather well.
Could be Shang-Chi. I think, we just want an overall strong card. It could be Shang-Chi. Could be Enchantress. I mean, Enchantress just says, hello, Darkhawk, as well. Like, we're apparently having a problem with Darkhawk.
I mean, that does clear out a lot of the issues, because that just wipes a whole Thanos lane. And can get you out from under a Professor X. Mattering on timing, of course.
Yeah, I said good luck with that.
Well, I mean, our answer to Professor X is just we're super flexible, and worst case is we Elsa Jeff and hope that a 5-power Jeff takes it. Alright, so we said it could be Shang-Chi Enchantress in the disruptive cards, and otherwise it's just a slam card, which would be Nebula, Armor, Mobius, you mentioned Nico. What else do we have as a play me, I'm good?
Alioth.
Yeah, but it once again it defeats the point of we're trying to build a flexible 6.
Right.
What says play me, I'm good? Hazmat? Because we have Luke Cage. But...
We could. Are we worried about the extra points?
What do you mean extra points?
I guess I'm just trying to think. Are we looking for more points in the deck, or are we looking for answers to something specific in this last slot?
It's your deck.
I mean, I guess we can try Shang. It is generically good.
Yeah. I was thinking of, do we want Daredevil? So we solve the problem of Professor X by literally knowing if they're going to Professor X, and then I realize they're going to do it on turn 4.
Armor doesn't do anything.
Armor is just, do you want to solve the destroy problem?
You can add Snow Guard.
Polaris is okay against Thanos as well, because you can clog their lanes.
Killmonger?
What are the 1-costs that we want to kill? Against Thanos, would you rather kill the stones, or would you rather Enchantress something?
Enchantress is probably better.
I don't know if it's Shang-Chi or Enchantress, to be honest, against Thanos.
Do you want Rogue? You talked about trying to get Rogue in earlier. But I guess Enchantress synergizes better with Shadow King and it just has more body to it.
Yeah. Alright, well...
It also just deals with everything.
Just get these 11, not for long, and then we can just figure out the 12th one once we're done with Silverman's deck.
Sounds good.
We just know it's 11 plus 1, and we can test multiple ones after the last one. Doesn't matter. Like, as we go and see the meta, we'll just test stuff. That's fine. Alright, Silvermint, what are we doing?
Alright, so I think we talked about a ramp, or possibly something like a counter to the meta hybrid ramp.
So, if I'm not mistaken, this is my idea of ramp. You tell me if that's correct. It's actually funny because we're gonna do the perfect thing. I think that's my base for ramp. Something like that. Then the question is, what do we play in there?
Yeah. So I think Sandman is not that good these days because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are dropping a lot of cards on 6. It doesn't really hurt. Let's see.
We have 3 slots. So 3 slots could be Wong, Panther, Zola, and then we just remove something for Odin.
Mm-hmm.
Could just be big guys, like it could be, I don't know, Alioth, Odin, Doom.
Well, I'm still going back to the idea of what we're trying to counter right now.
Well, what we were, the idea of ramp was that after we played Mobius and they want to rogue it, we play Electro with priority and punch them for it.
That's right. Okay.
So that's done already.
Mm-hmm.
We have that in the bag. So now the question is, how do we actually win games?
My pipe dream is still trying to get something like an Electro, then Death Strike on 4 combo off, but we're running enough low cards that doesn't seem like the right move right now.
I put Professor X because I really like Professor X, but we can remove it in place.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Death Strike is, okay, we go Death Strike, and what?
Yeah.
Professor X at least wins us the lane. Deathstrike puts us in a good situation, but unfortunately it's just 4 power. I mean, the opponent plays a Doom on 6, and Deathstrike was nice, but you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I'm thinking of targeting, our Electro with Deathstrike.
Okay, you gain the ability to play
Interesting.
more cards, but what are you gonna do with that ability? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah,
I
I hear you.
had to make it, I would do something like this. I would do this, this, this. And then last card, I don't know, either Doom or Alioth, probably.
Leader is an option.
Leader. Oh. Oh. Now we're talking. Leader or Doom? So when will we play Leader? Turn 5?
Yeah, and then we could
What do
always
we want a
Odin it
leader?
again.
What do we want a leader against? Against Darkhawk, it'd be okay. Although their Darkhawk comes down on 4.
Yeah, and we're not going to
steal.
have the rocks anyways, so ours won't be as strong. Yeah.
You know what? Let's go Doom for the sake of testing, but let's keep
Okay.
Alioth and Leader in the back of our head.
Okay.
Unless we remove Panther and Zola and we just go like Vision and Leader and just cards instead of trying to assemble a combo. But I really like the combo with Daredevil in the deck because you play Black Panther on 4 and you actually know on 5 if it's safe or not thanks to Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. Sounds fun.
Alright, everyone has his deck. Are we ready to break the meta or look stupid trying it?
Yeah.
I'm always ready.
Great. So who goes first?
Let's maybe the same order we built it in.
Alright, Bishop, you ready?
Yep. Should be okay now. Let's see.
Lewis.
1 second. I gotta figure out what happened to the menu.
I'm actually gonna test this right. Sounds like a great deck for when I'm alpha sleep.
Okay. Everything going okay?
Let me go
Can
over
you see
to
it?
Bishop screen.
Yeah, the red circles are moving.
Okay. Do we care where we're testing this? Should we be testing this on ladder
I would
or
go
post
ladder
ladder?
because we
Okay.
exactly have 15 minutes per person right
Perfect.
now.
Sounds good.
It's easier to control. If it was just 1 or 2 people, I wouldn't mind, but if we want to make sure everyone has enough
No,
time, it's easier to go the flexible way.
no, I'm totally fine with that. I don't know how to sound it this way.
So,
Okay.
quick question for Den. So I think when I took the screenshot of our deck, I had Zola, Chavez, and then there was a pop up, and I couldn't quite see what the final card is.
What? Oh, your
Oh,
deck?
yeah, for card 12.
What do you have right now?
Professor X, Panther, Zola, Doom, Chavez,
Odin.
Odin, of course, Odin. Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, here we go. So we'll just not play anything. So well, that's good. So guess we'll place Lockjaw into Mojo World. Actually, maybe not. Maybe mirror dimension. I would think I would generally try and put Lockjaw into the Mojo world,
Uh,
and then Thor offside it, somewhere else.
Up to you, but yeah, like Lockjaw into Mojo World is okay because you're usually gonna end up. Oh, well, now they give you armor, so you know they can't Shang-Chi you.
Right, and we have Giganto too, so we can always play on the left side now too. Oh, not my favorite.
That doesn't change. You're not going for Lockjaw? You're going for Thor first?
Yeah, I would think that. So I guess my thought process was that if I Thor first, then if I pull the hammer, I can play that into Lockjaw if I've got nothing else next turn.
What's the nothing else? You literally have Jubilee already in hand.
I see. I guess your point. Okay.
I mean, I feel like there's one line where it's in case I draw this against 100% already have the card, why not play it?
Makes sense. Oof, that's harsh.
Well, now you could Thor and you just Jane Foster the hammer. Oh.
So Thor right, and then we can move Jeff and Jubilee left. In center if we need to. Okay, I like this.
You have a plan? Let's do it.
That's annoying. Hey, look at that. So now hammer into Lockjaw and then Jane Foster somewhere else. And
Yeah, stay flexible with Jeff so you don't tell them where your points are gonna be.
not good.
I think you might have wanted to reverse. You might have wanted to play Jane Foster first, because now you have a shot at
Okay.
getting Wasp, and you don't have enough space anyway for. You really
see what you're
wanted to
saying.
get a big guy. Oh, you got a big guy.
Okay. I got a big guy. Actually, because of that, that's not good.
Oh. No, stats are bad.
Yeah, we
Oh.
have to do. So, we lose for sure if we lose center for sure. If we, so we just leave Jeff where it is and play Molnir to the right. Molnir to the right.
I personally would.
Oh, leave the game. You mean?
I mean,
Yeah. I
they
mean,
just
I see what you're saying.
they just have to
Yeah,
pass to beat you.
that's true. Okay.
Well, you can retreat later. Maybe they're scared, but.
I guess for me, the problem with this this level of where we're playing now, it all seems kind of pointless. I mean, I'm at post ladder. I'm kind of like, meh, whatever. I can play through anything. I don't care.
I mean, it's your cube.
Yeah, well, that's my point. If you can see, 81,000. I lose more points by people just graduating into infinite than I do by playing it. See, all sixes. That's good.
Alright, this is where we top deck Lockjaw.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
I'll be right back in a couple minutes.
I won't take it personally. All right, so Dracula into the sewer system. Well, at least we get Jubilee. Guess that's it. No point in playing Wasp now.
Trying to figure out if there's any Wasp, but even if it's Lockjaw that we pull Wasp.
Okay. All right. Well, what are our options here? So, Wasp right, left. Giganto left.
What do? You just hope Dracula wins it on his own?
Yeah, or let's see.
I might be it.
Or I mean, so what would that? So or Wasp left, Thor left, and hope for Dracula to pick anything but Jeff.
How many cards are left in your? Two. So
Two.
it's Thor and Vision.
Vision. So that's 8. So
yeah. Then maybe it's Magneto left.
Magneto left.
Dracula has a better shot at getting big.
Giganto. Is there any benefit for? Well, no. I guess you can't pull. We can't pull left anywhere. We don't know what they're gonna. They're gonna move the Jeff.
Yeah, but they're probably gonna play something else instead.
Right. So let's see what happens.
Oh no, they're not. Oh, they play Dracula as well. Oh, that's nice. Come on, Dracula, miss it.
Yeah.
Okay. Dracula battle. The mighty battle everyone has been expecting.
Hey, let's see. No.
Close enough.
Yeah. Boop. So let's see. One more.
Yeah, we have time.
We don't have 10 minutes left. Hey, there you go. Something. That's good. Okay.
All right, we got Lockjaw.
Let's see what we pull, and then we got time. So.
What are they playing? Ella?
Possibly.
Okay.
They're probably gonna, I guess, likely outstrip us, but if they get the cards they want. Interesting. Not great. Just, I don't know, just vision and skip the tower. I guess we want something there. Maybe vision and then think about Giganto on miniaturized lab.
Yeah, I mean,
which is
you have time anyway. The question is more, what are they gonna do? But
right.
You can always Magneto. Like, you might want a Magneto magic in the middle to maybe prevent them from being able to play order cards behind. Like, what else can we do against their combo? No, you still play Vision this turn. Oh wait, do we play Vision? Didn't we want to draw Wasp?
Right. Do we want to what?
Oh, we still had Wasp in the deck, so we could have drawn it with Jane Foster.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, yes. So Magneto left or center? Left.
Theoretically, you would be center to draw magic, like to pull magic.
Oh, I see. Because of,
yeah, it cancels the combo of Iron Man, Onslaught, and Tribunal in the spot, but it pains to have to throw Magneto there. You could also just go for points. That's the other possibility.
well, they played on 5, so it may be Hela, but
How many cards are in your deck?
I got 2 still. I got 3 and hand is full.
Either that or just slam Giganto left and just go for max points.
We'll give it. I'll try something different. I mean, bye, Magneto. Hey, we got him back. And then Giganto left. What's that? What's the chance? We got 8, 23. So I guess
It's doable.
50% chance. Yeah.
It really
I guess
depends
this
what's
is the best.
behind their invisible woman, to be honest. If it's MODOK and Hela, you're in a world of trouble.
Right. Looks like it's going to be MODOK and Hela. Oh. That's good. Doesn't help much.
I am Iron Man.
Oh, best possible draw.
We're pretty close.
Yeah, we were pretty close.
Well, it's the Magneto behind Lockjaw that didn't need to happen. We could have just played left that turn. Would have been okay.
Yeah,
The Magneto play was just to throw off the ongoing synergy. Otherwise, it was just max point.
Right.
Alright, straight to have a last one with Lockjaw, although we got Lockjaw 2 times. It's just, well, the first time we just got squirrels all over the place, and this game it just got the nuts, and in reality we should have left.
We should have left, but I mean, again, just it's all funny money. So one more, or are we done?
No, let's play one more.
Okay.
Well, shoot, we're gonna lose if they reveal. So darn.
Oh, great! We got Lockjaw.
Yeah, that's
useless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just get out of there.
I mean, your Thor is gonna work.
The Thor's gonna work great.
Yeah.
Let's just queue another game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, unless you want to play it out, but I really don't see how that. Like, you're gonna what? Thor. Go Jeff into Thor. You have Vision and Giganto. I mean, you want to play?
It's actually not
a bad.
I mean, it's not a bad hand, right? For
you want to try it? Try it.
Yeah, I mean. That was actually, this is.
Oh,
that's fun. Oh no, it's opponent's deck. So yeah.
No, this is going to go off first, right? No, they're going to go off first.
Yeah, they go off first.
So this is okay. Then. I think this is winnable.
How many cards do they have left?
3 in their hand.
Oh yeah, it's definitely winnable.
Well, I can lockjaw into.
No, Lockjaw. Wait. Mjolnir is not gonna change into anything, so there's no point. But you can
But it's
keep.
going to go off. It's going to end up back in my hand,
No,
isn't it? What wasn't it shuffled back into the deck?
no, I don't think so. I mean, try it if you want in the name of science, but then do it to the right.
Do lockjaw to the right?
You want to win right and left because you already have Thor on the right, and you can only play Giganto on the left.
Okay, so lockjaw Mjolnir like this. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure nothing's gonna happen.
What's going on?
I almost want to snap them back.
I already snapped. I was the one that snapped.
Oh,
Okay,
you're the
so it
one
does
who
freeze.
snapped. Okay. Vision middle, so they don't know.
Yeah,
Keep them in the dark.
Hawk.
There you go. Oh, sorry. Ooh, Sandman.
Okay.
Alioth? But we already have priority, so
Well, hold on. If it's Alioth, okay, yeah.
I have priority, right? So
Yeah.
Don't you want to do the reverse?
Oh, if it's Alioth?
Like, move Jeff to the right, Vision to the left.
Yeah, because if it's Alioth, that would be
Yeah.
that gives me the win. No. All right.
Bye-bye, Wasp.
Oh wow. We
they
tied,
were-
but we
Okay.
won.
We're playing
worked
the
out.
rubber deck. Alright, we got our cubes back.
Okay.
Who was second?
So,
That was me.
yeah.
Yep.
Alright.
All we need to win with Lockjaw is to get Lamentus. I love it.
So we need a Lockjaw Galactus deck. That's the answer right there.
It pulls like Galactus from your Lockjaw every single time. Dope.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fun.
Thank you.
But Lockjaw didn't, at least it didn't convince me.
Right. Maybe worth playing with some other stuff, but I mean everyone's running Luke Cage, so the affliction stuff probably isn't the best, but
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, is this me?
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
It's the move.
I just said that too. All right, pulling that up. There we go. Good. So I was thinking maybe Echo.
You can try it.
No.
I think I liked Enchantress more. Because the thing with Echo, well, you could try it. I mean, we are here to try stuff. Echo can help.
Well,
with
I'm
it can
curious in
help
your
with-
argument against Echo.
I don't have an argument against Echo. I don't know. I feel like other cards can do better than Echo. And then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, but it helps with priority. It can help fill a lane for Elsa. I'm definitely not against it. The more I think about it, I'm actually not against it.
And it wins one lane against both Darkhawk and Thanos. Shadow King. I mean,
well, you have
they
to
can't Darkhawk.
wait for it and time it. Like, if you play Echo on turn 1 or 2, they're just not gonna do it there. But it's not bad. Like, you know where they can't Professor X. Honestly, I don't mind Echo at all.
And yeah, which I guess protects an Elsa lane, so you can just keep churning out stuff.
Yep.
All right. You convinced me to do my idea. Let's here.
I'm very happy I convinced you based on the fact you can. Oh, we're actually doing this in high ladder. Let's go.
Yeah, this is actually my first post-infinite ladder game all season.
Wait, you opened in top 400?
I was 60.
Wow.
Wow.
And you haven't stopped, and you stopped playing. When did you get infinite then?
Like day 3, something like that.
Ah, okay. So you got 60 when not everyone was infinite yet, and then you just got like lower as people entered.
Yeah, I just haven't played.
Can we just play that
This
on
is
an
perfect.
unreveal location? So if it's an unplayable, we don't have to move it there.
Well, I want to build an Elsa lane.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Usually I do the opposite. It's like I know I can Kraven this lane, so I would play it somewhere else because I'm 100% sure I can do Kraven there. But you can do the exact same argument for Elsa. So
Let's try your thing. I do my thing all the time, so we'll try your thing. But this hand has everything I want, so. Okay. I think I'm. Because I want to build my Elsa lane now on that Nebula.
well, now that you're forced to play there, might as well build Elsa.
Well,
You
I
have
guess
Shadow
I
King.
can Shadow King.
Yeah, you Shadow King it.
Yeah, let's do that then.
This is lockdown.
Odd choice of a card, but okay.
Oh,
Cool.
That's great. We're gonna just Craven left and.
Wait, why do you have to Kraven now? That's something I never understood. Why don't you just old Kraven so they don't know you're gonna move stuff later on there?
Well, my turn 4, I think I want a Jeff Silk. My turn 5, I probably want a Legion. And so I'm planning on my Silk moving.
Okay. Because
I don't know. That was my thing.
I mean, I don't mind it. I think it makes sense. It's just I don't really see why would you want a Legion on a 5/6 on turn 5 when there's not really a location that you want to copy. Like I understand.
I guess that was just where my hand was. I have 3 draws here. I have Cage, which I want to play on the last turn. I have Spider-Man, which is fine on 5, but technically less.
The thing is, we said we have a flexible 6. My idea was we're just gonna drop Kraven on 6 alongside Shadow King and something else. Kraven doesn't need to be revealed. If you play Kraven and move to the lane, he still gets the bonuses.
Okay. I mean, I was just thinking maybe getting Silk, start doing that because that was in my hand, but I totally understand what you're saying.
It makes sense towards the Silk Jeff part, yes.
Alright, yeah. You can keep going then. What do you got? One. Okay. Yeah, that is for sure what I want to do. But do I want to do anything else? I don't. Well, yeah, it's one game. I should just play Echo.
Can I ask a question? What if it's Wong? Could it be Wong into Mystique?
Definitely.
That's a good point. Yeah, that covers all the bases of anything they could do.
If that's the case, do you want to play Echo first and then Spider-Man? Because if it moves it off the lane, then
well, it's gonna move.
You have priority, so it's gonna move
first.
100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, they're still gonna play. No, they're still gonna play Mystique.
There. Yeah, I have a better shot.
I think if Spider-Man can, he always takes the revealed card. I think.
Is that okay? Testing.
One thing we could have done though was move Nightcrawler or Jeff already. Reverse. What is that? Black Panther.
Black Panther.
No.
Fine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's Shadow King.
So Shadow King alone. Oh wait, let's take a
And
second.
this wins. I'm just doing the math in my head, but because there's Zoloing, and so that's 8. That is only 8.
Go left. Well, no, that's not 8 because he would go to Wong's lane, so it would be a 16. He's gonna trigger twice on Wong.
Okay.
So you get 16. So he's at 18. You move 6, so you're at 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So if it's Zola on the right, you actually want to...
Don't you want Shadow King on the left of the center lane?
Priority.
Oh no, you're going first. I'm sorry, you're going first. Never mind. Yeah.
No worries.
I think you can't win against Zola.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, wait, no. Then you... Oh, wait. But yeah, it doesn't work because they Zola a bigger thing. No, actually, if you think they're gonna Zola, your play is move Nightcrawler Chavez middle. Just win on point.
Oh, okay. That works. Is that above 16 movement crawler? Oh, yeah. No, because my silk moves.
And I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're leaving. Because we can't beat
So they get a
Zola,
16.
and that's...
They would get 20. Yeah, your silk moving is annoying. I think we made one mistake, which was the previous turn. We should have moved Nightcrawler already, and then go for Echo plus Spider-Man, so your Spider-Man would have got the Elsa buff.
And
That's a good
Well,
point. Yeah.
I guess for this specifically, what would have changed? I mean, it would have been plus 2 points. But
Well, it also would have possible that Spider-Man would have ended up in the middle lane. So the Panther could have gone middle then, in which case that's harder to Zola.
Yeah.
okay, that's fair.
Could have gone middle. Yeah. It feels a little weird for me to talk, making play discussion with you. You're, like I said, you based on where your rankings are. Kind of feel like I should just shut up and watch.
It was more I played a lot of ladder pre rankings when no one else was.
I mean, as long as we get your autograph after, I'm happy.
So, is this ranking? Is that number? Is that set from your total cubes of like your entire time in the game, or is it just for the season?
No, the history you have on the game impacts a lot.
Oh,
the amount of
okay.
cubes you start with.
Gotcha. Okay, I was like, I've never even been
Basically,
sure.
like, you have what you do on the season, and the game kind of keeps track and ranks you against everyone else. And so when you hit infinite, it's gonna put you at an amount of snap points that the game thinks represents your level.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, we
nice.
have, if we have priority, we have the super special Legion on Death Domain.
And so
Jeff.
that, yeah, I'm trying to. Is Spider-Man or Jeff better?
I like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, it might block our Legion play, but I mean, if
You want
we
priority,
have
right?
whatever and we can just echo the other lane, like we won Death's Domain.
Yeah, if you can't play on Death Domain, it's alright. And you can always try to echo Bar Sinister to beat Darkhawk, which is likely what they want to do.
Yeah, let's see. Is that what they're doing?
Funny,
Oh.
when I'm playing Darkhawk,
That looks like a Jeff.
I rock on Bar Sinister just to get.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, I see. I didn't think about them
Um,
all moving out. That is really useful.
Yeah, we just
And you still
And
hold Jeff in reserve. Yeah.
now it's
Oh,
going to move
hold
your
yeah,
Silk,
Silk is
right? So
gonna
you've
move
got
out.
that. Yeah, you've got that Legion plate
on.
back.
What? Oh no, it's not considered played there. That's still
Oh, I
fine. We
see.
have a ton
Oh.
of points.
okay.
But you blocked your. I see now you blocked your other problem.
So what am I? 5 and 6. So the question is, when are they Darkhawking?
What happens if we just pass Vision right on turn 5, and then turn 6 you just Legion middle, so they can't bar Sinister?
What if they barge Sinister? I guess now.
Well, if they play on bar Sinister before, they play on bar Sinister before. But the thing is, they still have to win middle. And our middle, if we
Yeah,
play
I mean
Vision on the
16
right,
points
is going to be a
middle.
26.
What if
So
what if you echo Jeff bar Sinister?
that's the
Or
problem
Jeff
is
Echo.
if they
Yeah, whatever the order is. I always forget it. But if you Jeff
Yeah.
echo, what if you do it now?
I think the vision, because they can't beat 16 points middle and win bar Sinister at the same time.
yeah, the problem with Jeff Echo is we don't have that much space available. And if they don't play
Mhm.
Darkhawk exactly now, then they barely have anything to do to win bar Sinister.
Oh, and they just lost, right?
Oh, that's better
Wow.
Oh no!
No.
for you.
They
Who's
knew.
playing ham?
That's fine.
Um,
We still have division play. That's okay.
yeah, this is still definitely right, but that hurt my feelings.
I like it.
Was not expecting that. Okay.
It's the I've seen these decks shared on social media. It's a mix of Loki and Darkhawk, and honestly, it doesn't make
Okay.
much sense. At least I wasn't
Now,
impressed with it.
so
Doom
Echo
doesn't
Center.
do.
Don't you just move 2 visions, replace with Chavez, and they are not
Hope
allowed to
that's
play 2
enough
cards?
points. I mean,
Or Chavez,
yeah.
Like,
Like,
first, how do they beat 23 left or middle? And I don't think they can beat 23 left or middle without playing at least 2 cards, which means their dino is at 8, 7, and we beat 7.
there we go. Someone did way more math than I was going to. I was just clicking buttons tonight.
Okay, so they just
Okay.
try to win middle.
Yeah,
23.
maybe Shang.
Yeah, but Silk
Like,
doesn't move, so it should be
nothing.
okay.
That was Darkhawk.
Yeah, okay.
14.
You're not that big,
Yeah.
Darkhawk. Come on, like.
but see, if you echo there and the Darkhawk lands on it, it just feels so good.
Yeah, it feels so good, but like, it's not a risk that we needed to take at this point in the game. Well, to be fair, we also didn't know they would Spider-Ham Legion, which was our plan back then.
That was an awesome. That was,
Why are people playing Spider-Ham with all the Mobius in the meta?
Because people just took the old lists, and in the old list, Spider-Ham was in it.
I guess so.
And because they
All right.
think their Mobius is gonna prevent from the pig costing 0, and they completely forget that Darkhawk decks play an anti-Mobius card. So let's get the last one. Like, I want to get at
Okay.
least 3 games in.
Sounds like a plan. So far, Shadow King has not been particularly relevant.
Well, the problem with
but,
Shadow King is
I
there are a lot of ongoings, and Shadow King is useless against.
Yeah, it might be worth doing something else. But this is a snap. I mean, I have everything I want.
You have Craven
You
too.
I would
haven't drawn your lockjaw yet.
I personally would wait until
For the third location.
No, until I have the information whether they are destroy deck or not.
Okay, that's at least with Destroy, we have Shadow King.
Yeah, but you don't have anything
get your
for the
point.
death and the null.
Oh, I didn't play anything. I was not paying any attention.
No.
But that's fine. We're gonna just
Oh, wait,
do
play on the right.
that.
Yeah, the Sentinels for free. You can't draw cards anyway, so it doesn't hurt.
Mhm.
Oh, cool. Free power.
That triggers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Kraven moves himself, he consider he
Oh,
moved to his own location.
They also didn't Craven, so that's
It didn't-
Silk Jeff.
It didn't Traver.
Wait, you do it on their Silk. You had a chance at moving it to your Kraven.
And I have Craven, so I'm
wait.
snapping.
Yes, but is it Silk Jeff or is it Silk Elsa?
Well, I guess, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Because I'm not building an Elsa lane yet.
Why not?
Yeah, you can do it later.
To just not
Yeah, let's
reveal that information. I should have played on 2, but
It's fine.
I was caught up in Is It Destroy and forgot that I'm also playing.
Hey, a Sentinel.
That's a pretty bad 4, but
Ah, come on, Silk. Alright, good girl.
options.
Is
yeah.
there ever a point where you go... Wait. Is there a point where you go move Jeff to Craven, play Elsa
Anywhere.
Yeah, something like
this
that.
Is what you're thinking?
You're losing, yeah, like you're losing the 50-50 for Spider-Man to pull to Craven, but you 100% get the bonus on your Spider-Man. Is that good? Oh no, wait, that's because Silk moves for Spider-Man. It doesn't move for Jeff. That would work. But maybe it's just better to play Spider-Man right on.
It might be better to play Sentinel over Elsa.
True. And just play Spider-Man to the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to do this.
Yeah, and Sentinel left. Yes, Silk bounces around. Spider-Man, you're not helping.
Jeez.
Well, we do have Elsa, Sentinel, Shadow King.
Yay! That's good.
What? They copied our idea.
What?
It's the deck I wanted to make.
But do I care? I just have to keep it under.
So there's one reflex that everyone should have when someone plays Sarah, is click on their avatar and check how many cards they have in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see 5.
All right, so they could be pretty explosive. Now the question is, will they?
And it's only one Sentinel, 2 Sentinels.
I mean, I think our play, I think it's like move Jeff middle, play Sentinel behind Craven.
Well, I don't think I want to move Jeff middle.
I would just play left and middle. Like I would Sentinel middle and then Elsa Shadow. It's gonna be an 8. What's the problem?
Well, the Silk's gonna keep moving around. Both of our Silks.
Yeah, but then they. I mean, you could like if you're really worried, your Silk is not gonna come back if you play it the right way, which is you move Jeff and then you go Elsa Shadow King left, Sentinel middle, and your Silk can only go right. But true, they could play right and then Shang-Chi. It's very specific, but do as you wish. Do as you wish.
I did not give myself enough time. We're gonna do wrong. Oh no! Oh no!
You gotta make a decision.
We didn't make a decision. I was trying to click on the cards, and oh no, this is just such an easy win. Oh,
Yeah, you had to win too.
So wait,
talking.
if we played, we would have a 6-power sentinel in the middle, so we wouldn't have one, and we would have one to the left. I don't think we didn't beat Shadow King anyway. Because what did you want
If
to
we
do?
moved Jeff left, Jeff right, Elsa right, Sentinel right.
Okay, so you wanted to have everything on the right.
I think so. I mean, the problem is where are our two sylphs going to end up? And we had just no clue.
Well, you would have tied the right then. That would have been 11 points. Then the middle would have been 13-2. And so you probably would have lost anyway. Like, you would have tied on the right and then lose the tie, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 15-point doom is 15 points.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Silvermint, ready to play some ramp?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay, go to share screen. Okay, close
Let
that
me
down.
unshare.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. So I want to share the right-hand window screen. Here we go. Hopefully that has worked.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, let's try to win, because the lockjaw hasn't been convincing, and a lot of communication problems with the move deck.
All right, let's see how we do. It's always a fun slogan to use while you're literally in a Discord session.
I'm in the Discord, yes.
Yes. All right. I feel reasonably confident about this move.
Okay, Thanos.
Alrighty. Okay, so Mobius left. I mean, doesn't really get me much, but play something.
Oh, with this deck, you just card.
Yep. Oh, that's interesting. All right, so this is interesting with against a potential lockdown deck.
Can't do a lot anyway.
Let's see. Yeah, I wish I had a good two. I mean, it's probably silly to Zola your Nebula into two places. We could Doom right now and Nebula somewhere.
Yeah, I would. Question is
Yeah.
just where do we Nebula? But I think it's middle because it's where most cards are already.
Makes sense. And then Doom right, maybe?
Where do you think, if they're gonna Professor X, where do you think they do it? That's where you play Doom.
Well, there's a chance they might do it on the left, and I can't
but
play Doom there.
Not left. Pick a side. There's no more time.
Middle.
Oh, out of cards on the right.
Oh.
Very lucky.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Okay, for a record, if you were gonna do this, you always play Reality Stone last. Because if you get a location that kills your card or cancels on reveals or stuff like that, you always want that to be.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, we can still win the other two.
That's right. So
I missed it. Why didn't you play Nebula into the right lane?
Oh, the suggestion was middle because they can't occupy it very
because they're
easily.
already at cards there,
Yep.
so it should be harder for them to play there.
I see. Okay.
We didn't know they would just throw all their cards on one lane.
All right, so I think maybe should I wave middle? What are they going to play now? Yeah, I like wave middle maybe. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting now. So they have priority, so if they move vision and I Professor X on the left, it's going to be 11 to their 8, and if they have Jeff, that's just a tie. That they don't move it. Yeah. Hmm. They've already moved Jeff, or they haven't?
They
Yeah.
haven't. Neither
They
Jeff
haven't,
or
yeah. Okay. Well, wait, why did I play wave there? I've just limited myself from Panther and... Well, shoot, I think I've made a mistake here.
Yeah, I think you have no choice but just Professor X Metal and hope. They didn't snap.
Okay.
Wow.
Is it?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so... Yeah. Yeah, I
They
do.
do nothing. They win.
Yeah. But I've learned to press the retreat later button, so that's something.
Hey, progress.
That's right. Okay. So obviously, yeah, no, I would be pointing at me too right now, honestly. Yeah, that wave was not a great call.
Why did you play it?
So I was expecting them to maybe go for a stones, maybe go for they've already got one lane. Honestly, I didn't think through the what are they actually going to do next turn, because at this point, if they've already got one lane, play big cards, and I can't use most of my cards on the left lane. So what I did was immediately block anything I might want to copy, or a chance to build Panther. I think I actually just did not think. That's my best answer.
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's that bad to have played Wave, because you were really only gonna play one card. But
I should have yeah. Yeah. My biggest point, I had to guarantee I'd win 2 lanes. My biggest point generation possibility is Panther. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got here? All right, I think Nebula middle. Let's see, don't know if they're playing yet. Mobius. Well, no, I don't want to reveal the Mobius yet necessarily. There's no benefit to that. So maybe just a Jeff. No. Oh, Mobius.
first,
Oh, okay.
Okay, so first, Jeff can be played through Electro. Extremely important.
Right. Yep.
And
No, that's exactly right.
your whole plan was to Mobius and then Electro on it. If you top deck Electro, you want Mobius.
That's right.
And then there's a lot of Zabu decks currently going around, so Mobius on
A pretty cool
Zabu
info.
you.
Fair enough.
That's perfect. This is extremely strong because do you know what happens with Mobius and Wave together?
Yeah, so we get to play costs as normal, below 4, or we reduce down to 4 for everything else. They can't play anything. Or no, it's turn 3, so yeah, they'll just be stuck at 4.
What's their Nico Minoru? What's the
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Replace the card's location.
Oh, so he's... Do we snap
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
so.
that's about the best 1, 2, 3 you can get with your deck, and you already have DckD or Zola.
Yeah.
Would you not? Question: would you use Doom Odin or Odin the Wave, and lock it down again?
I might Zola wave into Odin into...
Oh, that's perfect. They gave us a location to. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that.
So Zola Wave. Okay.
It depends how you want to do it. But the thing you can do is you Zola wave, and then you Odin Zola, which retriggers and gives you 2 Odins. And retriggers the
Oh,
wave, and every card costs 4 for the rest of the game. Except you have Mobius and they don't.
interesting.
I mean, that's pretty strong. So, we're thinking of. Did you say Zola the Wave?
I would go Zola wave into Odin Zola.
I want to see this interaction.
I mean, this is honestly really fun.
Whew.
That's
Lucky.
totally fine.
You went to the right, it could have been catastrophic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that. Okay. So now when you Odin the Zola will reshoot the Odin over to the other lanes.
I mean, this is I've never seen.
Yeah,
This is
it's
kind of
just
fun.
neat.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
It works.
that's
Still
okay.
drain
no,
the
I'm still
wave.
fine with it. I'm still fine with it.
You just lose 8 overall, but
Yeah.
now you just enter Jeff. Jeff is Jeff.
Leave.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's remarkable. Okay, so where are we at? What is their big play? Yeah. I think Doom Jeff looks good to me. Where do I want to be safe? I think where are they gonna play?
Is it gonna be Alioth?
I mean, I'm okay with that. I already have priorities, so
No,
I still get.
you win. But
I'm sorry.
no, I agree with
So
you. You win. I just
yeah, I'm thinking this.
That sounds fine. I don't think you can lose. That would be very curious to see your opponent stay in this. Okay.
there you go.
Fair enough.
That's neat.
All right.
I don't play ramp very well,
Let's
so this
get
is interesting to watch.
the third one in.
Alrighty. Yep. Okay. Let's play. Okay, I think the same pattern as before. Nebula middle.
Yeah, it's also the same left location, funnily enough.
Right? Okay, interesting. All right, so Mobius. Let's see. So Rogue could potentially steal this, but not enchant. Yeah, I think
You don't
I'm
want to
okay
play
with this.
Mobius with Nebula, because if they want to rogue it, at least they give you the points on Nebula.
Makes sense. Okay. So what is this setting up? Is this you're gonna do a Shuri? Let's see. So could do Electro here. I don't really have a big benefit to do it
Oh,
yet.
if you're gonna play Electro, don't think about where to play it. There's Asteroid.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, would it make sense to hold that back until no? Because let's see. So if I do this now, then my next move is Daredevil, or something that I draw that gets discounted.
I mean, worst case you have
Yeah.
Jeff. Worst case you just play Daredevil and Jeff together.
That seems right.
Once again, that could be a snap. That's like literally the best one to get with your deck. It's a Shuri deck, so we never know. But
Mm-hmm. Do we have? Let's see. They're great. Can I beat them on points? Let's see. So if I want to do this, so if I'm hoping for something like a Zola play, I can't do it middle and I can't do it left because Zola won't copy. So
you can do it middle. Like basically, you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
do it.
yeah. That's right. So that's out. So I think right now it's Daredevil Jeff.
Oh, it's still Black Panther. It's still more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still Black
Okay.
Panther to the
Yeah.
right. Hopefully, you draw Odin next turn, and you just.
Okay.
Oh wait, you could Doctor Doom right, and then you get a 66%
Mm-hmm.
case.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's see. Hmm.
Do you want a shot at 2 cubes, or are you happy with 1?
I mean, let's try to get 2 cubes.
Because I'm pretty sure if you snap, they leave.
Yeah. What are they gonna? Are they just planning to play Red Skull now in one locations?
If they
Either
had,
way,
if they had Red Skull, I think they played it over Taskmaster.
right? Let's see. So if this copies Electro, I still think. Hey.
This cop is Electro
Um.
kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
Yeah, 2/3 chance.
there's also the play where you just Chavez left and go like, I'm ahead on everything, find a solution. But I don't know if that's good. Because then they played Sauron, so they take right back with just Ebonimo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the Arnim Zola play.
All right. I mean, I feel like for this level of cubes, that's a fine.
You got 66% chance of winning.
That's right.
There you go. Have a
All right.
game.
Okay, but left isn't. Hey.
You win.
All right.
Righto.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Ramp did really well.
It did.
Mhm.
I'm not used to thinking in ramp terms. But when play is corrected, it actually handled a lot of big decks pretty well.
All
So
right.
I know way back when we were planning it, we were thinking of leader as a possibility. Doom was our kind of reliable standby. Now that you've seen what you've seen, still think Doom is. Is there a better card?
What was the other choice? Leader would have been terrible.
Yeah, it was Doom leader, and then there was another one, and I'm
Alias.
forgetting it. Oh, Alaya. Yeah, yeah. No, honestly, this feels pretty good.
It's okay, yeah.
Hmm.
And I think like the move deck was a lot of quiproquos, but I think the move deck we had, the idea was good. Maybe Shadow King wasn't needed, uh, and we just play um either just Shadow King or just Luke Cage and build a more like flexible turn. But like maybe with the thinking back on it, maybe we could just play move, and if we remove Echo and Luke Cage, we have 3 spots available. Well, we have 2 spots available, and we can just play Shadow King, Shang-Chi, Enchantress, and turn 6 is just Shadow King plus either of one of them. That could be a thing. And that would be like move. That was food for thoughts. All right. Do we have any questions or anything that we want to discuss before closing the session?
I think it's oh yeah, go ahead.
Any thoughts on the upcoming new card? I don't know what the wolf does.
What?
Oh, the
Okay,
upcoming card. It's yeah.
What
Oh,
find out?
we
It's
can
not coming up.
discuss the
Okay.
upcoming card. So it's pretty simple. It's a mix of move and unreveal.
Are you streaming again?
Oh. There you go.
There you go.
Like I've seen a few ideas go around. So there's like old school move that could play there because you have a lot of unrevealed cards in there. Like you have Iron Fist, you have Ghost Spider, you have Spider-Man, you have Polaris, Doll, that kind of stuff. So you could move it around fairly easily. You have Bounce, which has a ton of unreveal effects. You can bounce them and get Werewolf to a ton. You have Thanos because the stones are on reveal, so you could move it and get it to like a 7 or a 9 maybe. Maybe Loki can play it, but I doubt. Like the amount of unreveals is there, but the space and the fact that we don't necessarily want to play it on turn 3 makes it awkward. Maybe Phoenix Force wants to play.
Huh.
I mean, it's a decent destroy target. It will move alongside your other unrevealed cards. So, like, if you just, let's say, Human Torch turn 1, Destroy turn 2, play Werewolf turn 3, Phoenix turn 4, and then on turn 5, you start playing all your cheap unrevealed cards, and then Phoenix and Werewolf are going to move, and that leads to a lot of points. But yeah,
It's the 7 pretty much.
yeah, I think like if you can get like a 3/7 is decent, but I think you should aim for a 3/9 or 3/11 most of the time because 3/7 is just Maximus, it's Wolfsbane. Like 3/7 is expected, let's say. So I think at 3/9 or 3/11 it's good, but then you have the risk of running into Shang-Chi. So
Right.
we'll have to see.
Put in the Surfer. Try it out.
Yeah, there's also the Surfer deck which has plenty of unrevealed cards. The question is how much can we play with space because of Brood? And how many unreveals are we actually gonna play with this? Because they all cost 3. So you play this on turn 3. Well, if you can move it on 4, 5, and 6, like a 3/9. If you're really good, you get to move it twice on 6, so it could be a 3/11. That could work. But then you probably want to find like cheap unreveals. Like your 2 and your 1 probably make unreveals.
So it's going to move first and then gain the +2, right? So if you're going to try and snipe it, you have to aim where it's going to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it depends if you have priority or not. If you have priority, you need to snipe it where it is, and if you don't have priority.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Surfer can work because you probably play Forge in that deck because you have Brood. Then you can play Nico in there. It's just the 2 cost. Like, do we still play Goose? I think we have enough unreveals in the deck. Like Brood is unreveal, Surfer is unreveal, Storm is unreveal. Storm is actually really good with it because you storm wherever and he just comes there and he's like, oh, we're gonna win the lane.
Yeah.
You have Storm, Polaris, Spider-Man, both on reveals. It's been a while since I've played Surfers. Maximus is on reveal, so that works. Wolfsbane can be on reveal, so that works. Rogue is on reveal.
Now
Killmonger
reveal
is on
doesn't even have
reveal.
to trigger.
What?
You can slide it behind. It doesn't have to trigger. You can slide it behind a Cosmo.
Yeah, you don't have to trigger your card. At least the way it's written, I guess
Right,
so.
the way it's written. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I think it's decent in Surfer. It's gonna provide a lot of points. Okay.
Cool.
On this note, let's close the session. I am still not sure if next week we're gonna have a patch or not. We might have a patch on Tuesday. If we do, then I'll probably offer to do the session Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And if it's a break balance-wise, once again, I'll think I'm pretty flexible next week. Might just offer all days and see what people like more. But I'll at least wait to know if we have a patch on Tuesday or not until we decide on the day. Alright, I will stop the YouTube video for those watching on YouTube. 2 hours 60, really long. Bye bye YouTube.